Welcome back to Cantina Jargon with Neil.
Yeah, the Neil Plushie. the Neil episode.
After the big Neil episode, which I loved, number
Yeah.
one. Man, that show has just so much like charm to it. And it's just like I think something that was missing from Star Wars so much.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm really enjoying it. It's not like getting me hype every week, like, oh, I need to see what happens next, but it's like it's entertaining when it's on and I watch it. I'm gonna be there and watch it.
Yeah. That's exactly how I feel too. With that, welcome to Cantina Jargon. What's going on, everyone? My name is Cantina Talk, aka Caden, and this is Jojo Jargon. Welcome if you are new. Welcome to Cantina Jargon, episode 42.
Welcome. We are back at it again. We got 2 episodes to discuss now of Skeleton Crew that we didn't discuss yet on stream. Episodes was last night 4?
Yeah, 4.
We're halfway now.
Yeah, we're fully at the halfway point, and we've gotten into the story, but I feel like we really haven't uncovered much.
Yeah, like I don't want to jump too far ahead to episode 4. Let's talk about episode 3.
Yeah.
Refresh me on like what happened in that one, because that was the
owl. And the fake Carson Teva like tease.
I actually liked that it wasn't Carson Teva. Personally,
I was a little upset. I'm like, really, you teased that much for it to not be Carson? Like, at least give me that payoff.
Like, I don't think we need Carson and everything. So
no.
Part of me is like,
I just wanted to see our multiversal connecting man show up.
Yeah, that would have been funny. But it's like at the same time, I would have been like, really? He's here too? Like in this like random moon?
Yeah. I was messing with Paul, the guy who plays Carson Teva. I was messing with him on stream one day.
Yeah.
And I was just like messing with him to see if he didn't like tease anything about Skeleton Crew, but I asked him about it, and he kind of just did like one of those like side like I'm a sip real quick type of thing. So I don't know. I hope we see him.
I wouldn't be
doubt
surprised if we see him, because we're gonna get more X-wings. We saw in the trailer one where they're like circling the pirates or whatever. Yeah. So, which I think is the next episode. I definitely think that's the next episode.
I would assume so, because it also seems like that's like where that layer will be, and I think that layer with all the treasure is Hondo's layer, and I think that's where that X-wing shot is like the outside of it.
Okay, that's what I think too. That's what
like with the gold aesthetic anyway. That's kind of how it feels like it. Yeah,
it all kind of matches, right? I definitely think it's Hondo. I definitely think we're getting Hondo. I think that's episode 5 or 6 probably. Yeah. And then 7 is the Jedi episode, and then 8's going to be whatever is the finale. We don't know what's going to happen, but
Thrawn shows up. I don't know.
Yeah. I here's my so there's some crazy theories going around. So let's just jump to episode 4. So they go to a very similar planet. One of the, what was it, 7 planets the owl said, or how many planets?
I think it's 6 at Akron is where we were.
Okay, yeah, we were at Akron, which is like one of the 6 Old Republic planets that, were one of the jewels of the Old Republic. Clearly, it's been completely demolished at this point. But we learn about like SM-33 has already been there, dude. And his like, so there's this theory going around that his captain is the guy who's like running at Aton right now.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I'm fully for that, because like it makes sense that like
okay, but like how long has that ship been buried? Like this guy's still alive? Like
I'd assume,
you know what I mean?
30 plus years.
Oh, I would have thought hundreds.
I'm assuming this person that came in just like they crash landed there and they were there for a while. Okay, maybe I should say more than 30 years, because you're right. Those like the corpses in there were very much so like they've been sitting there for a couple hundred years. But yeah, it's true. Like. How I mean, unless their captain is like of Neil's race, because remember like in episode 1, I believe that shot of in Neil's garage. They focused and William's garage. Sorry, they focused on Neil's race. That like little like painting. Like they focused on that for some reason. So I'm kind of wondering, like, maybe I don't know, because like a human won't live that long.
Right, but there are other species. You're right that live longer in Star Wars. So that's a really good point. It could be anyone. I would love it if it was Card, obviously, running the planet, and he's just like sitting on a cache of freaking credits. You know, he's like
that
ready
would
to
explain
go, man.
so much though too.
Yeah, it would. That would be cool. That would be really cool to me.
I doubt this will connect to it, but this like lost area could also be where the fleet is.
Ooh, the Katana fleet.
Yeah.
But I mean, what if like this is our replacement for the Katana fleet? So instead of like a lost fleet of ships, we're getting a lost civilization. You know, it could just be our replacement in this Disney.
I don't know how it would work Thrawn in that regard, but I would love.
Well, there's obviously people want it. Thrawn's going to want it because of the riches that it's going to help pay for whatever he needs. You know what I mean? Mercenaries, ships, you know, whatever.
I just didn't know, I didn't know if you think you would go back to the chest for that or not.
I don't think he's going back to the chest. The chests are so far out in unknown regions that it's like, I don't think it's easy to just go out there, get them, and then come back. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he's gonna return with like when he returns, he's returning like with something. So that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know like if he's like if it's for that regard. I just kind of always think this like from the canon trilogy, like everything he's doing is for the chess.
Yeah, I know, but it kind of feels like Dave Filoni's ignoring it just a little bit.
That's also true. That's also very true.
Dave Filoni seems to be more aligned with like EU Thrawn than canon Thrawn.
Totally fine with that.
I'm all for it. Yeah.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah. I'm all for it, but at the same time, it's hard to speculate because we do have these canon books, right? Yeah. And it's like, okay, well,
yeah, you know? we have something that we should be like going off of, but chances are it's probably not.
Right. It makes it a little tougher. So I don't know, man. I'm kind of like, I feel like Thrawn is going to be involved in this planet in some capacity. I just don't know. I think the credits. So, okay. One of the, I'll rewind here a little bit. John Watts in an interview before the show aired, he said, you know, they asked if it connected to other things because Mandalorian era, blah, blah. And he said, not necessarily, but he's excited to see how the show ends impacts the Mandalorian era going forward.
I remember him saying that. And I remember seeing that. I mean, and obviously we know it's around that time because of Vane. But what are they going to do? Like, what impact are they going to have that's going to affect the greater galaxy? Unless, like, the entire civilization blows up or something. And that's the only thing, like, what would be big enough to cause that, like, that much of a change?
Well, I mean, if there really are riches, like, beyond belief at this place at Aton, then allegedly or supposedly, you know, you could say that someone of those credits falling into the wrong hand or those treasures falling into the wrong hand could be detrimental to the rest of the galaxy.
Could be. I would. Okay,
right? I mean, what if Thrawn gets his hands on all those? What if a pirate, you know, let's say a Card or a Boba Fett gets his hands on some of those?
And it would be great. I just like I know this isn't going to be the case, but I just because I love it, I want it somehow to tie into like how the Star Forge is just gone, like something that huge. I feel like would be hidden in this like sect of these planets. Like,
yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be all for that.
That's what I kind of what I meant, like with like the fleet. Anyway, with that is like something along because like there has to be something here that's that detrimental for John Watts to say that.
There is something. The other interesting thing was what did they call the tower that they went to where they found the coordinates? What did they call that?
I thought it was just the spire, the watchtower.
I don't know, but they basically said on their planet, right, that only like the headmaster or whatever can go up there. What if that's where they're hiding whatever this is? I mean, whatever
the fallen sanctum,
the Starforge, the sanctum,
the supervisor's tower at Aton.
Supervisor's tower. So only the supervisor can go up there,
which makes sense. And
there's something hidden up there. But I mean, it may just be the coordinates of all these planets. But now they have all of them besides Aton. They could easily just go to one of the other planets, go to the sanctum, and see if it's there.
I also had this theory too, because how like all the other planets, like obviously like in this spire, in episode 1, Friend's mom says, or episode 2, I believe, maybe it was episode 1. Fern's mom says that she is requesting a meeting with the supervisor.
Why is she requesting a meeting with the supervisor?
Because of like the kids being lost. She's saying that she was telling them like I'm trying to request it, but I'm thinking like if the coordinates were in this one and at Akron, every single spire has to have them.
Right. They all do.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like I hope that's how. I don't know. I just remembered that and I was just like, okay, so we have to see something with that then. We have to see who the supervisor is.
There's definitely a major spoiler online from a behind the scenes picture. If you want me to go there, I could probably pull it up and show you.
I haven't seen it. I don't know what you're talking about. If you would like to, that's totally fine.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay.
But give me a moment here. We'll continue chatting about it. What I believe it's tying into is the one in Aton, the spire at Aton.
Yeah.
So this might take me a moment to find because I gotta.
I've also been seeing it too. But a lot of people have been saying in the first like trailer, like when we see Jod come out with a kid and he's wearing like his coat and everything.
Yeah.
People are saying now that he has a lightsaber on his hip. That's the flashlight from inside.
Yeah,
I just been noticing, seeing a bunch of that on Twitter. Like, I just want to clarify, that's a flashlight.
Not quite.
I will say the SM-33 burn though, instantly to me looked like a lightsaber slash. Like somebody slashed the coordinates with a lightsaber. I said that immediately. I was like, it does not look like a blowtorch. Yeah. It does not look like he just blowtorched it.
No, that is 100% a lightsaber slash.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like it was scorched. Yeah. Like, I'm so curious to like who and what the previous captain was.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get that backstory and like, okay, here's what I think it's gonna go. I think episode 5 we get Hondo. I think 6 we get the captain's backstory. I think 7 we get Jod's backstory. 8 the finale.
Yeah. I think we'll defend it because we also I believe we still have shots of the kids back in there on like at Aton we haven't seen yet from the trailers.
Okay, so that I don't know, but here's a shot I'm gonna show you.
We also still haven't gotten to that sand, like I'm not gonna say sand crawler because the Jawas, but that sand crab. We haven't gotten to that part either, and that looks like that could have been on that moon. So I don't know where the hell we're going with that.
Oh yeah,
because it's also the same planet where this gold area is because there's snow. It's a snowy mountain region. It reminds me of the banking arc in Clone Wars.
We'll probably get the crab next week. I think
that's what I'm thinking. Is that's gonna be that episode, and it's probably gonna end with Hondo. Yeah. Okay. I have seen. Okay. Yeah. I know. I have seen this. I know what you're talking about.
They're with the parents, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They put this on the official Star Wars channel. Like they don't give a shit. Like, there's nothing big being spoiled here. But this has to be in like the spire or whatever,
yeah.
Right?
It look at the towers behind. Look at the room. It's the top of the spire. It's the like.
Right.
Yeah. That's the spire. I thought this was like a leak figure about a show.
No, this is this is essentially a leak because I don't think they purposefully included what appears to be in the last episode from.
But they did it with Acolyte a ton. Like half the show I figured out was from the Acolyte behind the scenes.
That's true. Like the only thing Acolyte didn't spoil was like Yoda and Plagueis, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, everything else, even like we knew who was essentially going to die the whole time.
We knew that Khmer immediately was a Sith too.
Yeah.
Like if you have a character in your trailer that's reciting the Sith code, you can't play it off any other way.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you think the center structure is here? Like, what is this? Because I don't remember anything in the center of the room and the other spire.
Each one can be different for whatever their use is per planet. Because I also had a theory with why this planet is all like torn and like war torn. This is what happened when the droids failed to run the planet. Like when they're like the people that are inhabiting the planet are all the pencil pushers. The droids are the blue collar people or blue collar workers. Sorry. And on this planet, they failed. That's kind of like at least like this is what happens when they like rebelled against. Yeah, that's kind of how it feels. Is like this is like at some point this society fell. It's kind of a look into the future of what Aton will look like.
I think so. I think you're right. Did you notice the big like floating things outside of the planet too, like the big old metal discs?
Yeah, because those looked weird right away too. And I was a little confused at what they were, and I figured it had to do with the how they talked about like the
shield.
Like,
yeah,
the shield.
Like,
that's kind of what I figured. That's kind of what I figured it was had to do with that.
100%. It has to be whatever's generating that shield or that nebula around the planet. It has to be those machines, but clearly they had been destroyed. So that was interesting.
Kevin is at the center of all this. I honestly, as dumb as that was in She-Hulk, I hope to see Kevin back.
Yeah, that would be funny. Hey, Project Cinder. I did think that was my initial thought when I saw the discs. I was like, "Oh, Project Cinder was here! Like, holy shit, this destroyed the planet." But like, then I'm like, "Nah."
That was before, right?
When Project Cinder would have been like in this timeline would have been like 5 years ago, 6 years.
That's what I'm saying because Megs already had talked about it,
right? But Project Cinder would if they just left the laser cannons in orbit, I guess. But I don't. At the end of the day, I'm like, nah. At the end of the day, I'm like, nah. It's definitely it's definitely whatever's creating that barrier for him for sure.
Like, I would love it to be more. I don't like. I would love it to be Project Cinder because I think it's so cool. But that
would be cool.
Like, I don't think they're like. I don't know. Like, timeline wise, for me, it doesn't fit. But I could see how it could fit.
It could. I mean, if the people on the planet were like, yeah, like this happened like 5 years ago, like our planet got destroyed, but they seem to be so far removed from whatever society Aton has. That
all they're doing is turning Neil from an innocent little boy into a deviant, stealing that smooch, laying it on him. Neil didn't give consent for that.
Neil is okay. Getting to Neil. 100%. If anyone is force sensitive in this group, it's Neil.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's too like, you know what I mean. He's a good person. It's all that stuff. It's Neil. Neil is the one.
Neil just wants to help.
Yep, it's like a true Jedi, man. He like it's interesting because Wim wants to be a Jedi for like the powers and the in the
he wants it for all the wrong reasons,
right? But
like in KB, I don't think KB's force sensitive. Like when they mentioned like, wow, KB can use the force now. I think it was like it has to like be like an electronic frequency.
I think so too.
That's what I thought it was. She heard it.
She has like a mechanical implant or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah. I just would love to see Neil at Luke's Academy, dude. Oh,
I would too. Just to see, I would just love to see him in the robes, like just give him.
Have
him like floating some rocks. Have
He's
Tulu
the best
there, like
in the show. He steals the show every week.
Dude, I feel like as like dumb as it sounds, I felt bad when he was talking about how he got his trunk bruised. Like
yeah, you guys
like
or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah,
dude, I like laugh out loud when I'm watching him. Like when he just talks, it's so damn funny to me. So
I can just tell that like Robert Timothy's, but he's just having like the time of his life, and it's like you can just see that he's having so much fun, right? Like doing it. And I even saw too that he said that he's like, I wanted Neil to be really sweet and a really nice person, so I tried to like be as nice as I could to everyone in my family to like prepare. I just wanted to be nice, and it's just like he's the right person to be playing Neil.
100%. He's killing it too, man. It's like the voice he does, and obviously they do some face capture with it too. If you've seen the behind the scenes, so they're really capturing like his performance too. Which is great.
Even with the animatronic on his head, they're still capturing his, like his facial capture underneath. For the animation part of it, which is so cool.
It's great. Love Neil, favorite character for sure.
Yeah,
I do like Jod. I gotta say, I'm very interested in what is going on with him.
Yeah.
But
immediately when he returned, like okay, when he returned with him, I instantly was like, oh, he did like the classic like Anakin, like he just, all right, take me with you, and then
dude, when he said just shoot me,
shoot me already.
That's so funny.
Like the hides line too was like, I didn't. Okay, like when Neil ran up to him and hugged him, that's when I was like, all right, Jod doesn't like he. At this point, I don't think he can turn on him.
No,
If he does, it'll be
like going to. If he does, that'll be crazy.
Like I don't feel like he can at this point. Like it's especially after that. Like I don't know if he did. Like I would hate the character. Like love Jude Law, but I would hate John if he did. But I think that would be the point though. They would want you to feel anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think he will. I think he's well intended. I just think he's just kind of going through life trying to make the best of each situation, kind of thing. So
I think Jude Law explained it best. Jod didn't have he said that Jod didn't really have a childhood. He doesn't know what it's like to be a kid. So he's a kid trapped in an adult's body. He doesn't know like when he said that like when these kids are saying like we're hungry, he's just like to him he's like, well, get over yourself. We have a bigger job at hand here. He doesn't see them as kids. He sees them as adults.
Right.
And when he said that Jod's childhood was kind of like taken from him, that kind of reminded me of the Jedi taking younglings from their families.
Yeah,
because just like how they said to Obi-Wan that Kenobi had a brother. He doesn't remember him, but he had a brother.
That is crazy. It's like they're just like see ya.
When they dropped that line though, I was like, whoa, we're doing this?
I know. That was interesting. Yeah. I don't know. That's never going to be addressed again, probably.
Which is so sad. Like that's
can't so
drop that.
That's
and
just
not...
typical, man. Typical. So let's look at this scene one more time, real quick. So Jod is not in the picture here, and neither is KB or Neil or whatever. We have Fern, Wim, and their parents, and that's it.
I guarantee the kids are with, like the other ones that aren't here are with Jod on the ship with SM-33.
Oh yeah, maybe. So we know we know for a fact they make it to.
Yeah, they make it back home.
Make it back home. Wait, that's like spoiler.
I almost feel like this might be in the last episode when they finally confront the supervisor about everything.
I think you're right. I think
I feel like this is a finale shot.
Yeah, finale for sure. They're not going to make it home before the finale.
No. If they do, I'd be surprised. But at the same time, I feel like we're gonna have to spend some time there.
Yeah, that's true. They'll need to spend time there. I mean, we can make it there, but maybe like end of episode 7.
Yeah, and like have all episode 8 there.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I gotta read Clark's thing here. This is so funny.
Operation Cinder is a horrible idea. What would be left to rule if you blow it all to smithereens? I mean,
you see, here's the problem.
Project Stardust.
Well, here's the real issue. They didn't know Palpatine was going to come back when they wrote Operation Cinder into the freaking game. So
yeah, that definitely wasn't. That was added in after the fact, and they had to like rework it in.
Well, Operation Cinder is in Battlefront 2, so it's like that's where we first see it, right? And like, okay, then we get Rise of Skywalker a couple years later, and like 3 years later, and Palpatine's back. There was no plan to be like he was gonna rule over everything because he was dead, and he was supposed to stay dead according to everyone except J.J. Abrams.
According to everyone who used their 2 brain cells.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know.
But those plants have cooked for. But those planets have been cooked for over 100 years.
Yeah.
True.
I think so. I don't think Operation Cinder, Project Cinder, whatever it's called, has anything to do with it.
Yeah. That's kind of also what I thought too. It's almost like a game to see like divide and conquer. Like who will come out on top? Like which civilization will survive? It's the entire thing is like a social experiment.
Do you think they all had? You know how they talk about the great work or whatever? Do you think they all have a different like goal with their great work?
Yeah. Each planet has their own thing. Like Neil's, like they're analysts. They're analyzing the data from the other planets. Like that's kind of how I thought. Like each planet has like think of like districts in the Hunger Games. Each district has its own job. That's kind of how it feels to me. Is like each planet has its own job, and like somebody like a Dr. Pershing. I mean not Pershing, but like from Bad Batch. I know I'm blanking on the name right now, but Hemlock. Like somebody has some experiment that they're running, and it's like a social experiment that they're watching. That's kind of at least like, and that's the supervisor, I'd assume. But I don't know.
That'd be interesting. But I definitely like you said about like Hunger Games. Like I just think this is so like new for Star Wars, but also it fits. So like I'm
and
all
it
for
feels it feels like it belongs.
Yeah, it does. It fits. It fits really well. I really like where it's going. It's just fun. I am excited to see how it impacts or ties into the greater like Mandoverse era. I mean, what if like somehow the Hutts are in control of this? You know what I mean? We already know we're getting Hutts in Mando movies, so
I feel like that would have had to have been shown in the first episode, though. Like, I don't know. I feel like we wouldn't have had enough leading into that for the like. I feel like I don't know, for the Hutts to control that with Old Republic credits. I feel like the Hutts would have. I don't know, like. I just feel like with the riches there, the Hutts would have done something with it.
That's
with
true.
it being the Hutts, I feel like they would have done something with it.
But okay, so my whole theory then is that like the riches of this planet are going to fall into someone's hands at the end of this season, and the question is who. I think the Empire. I think Thrawn.
Yeah,
but I think this Road of the Hut could come into play. I mean, he could be the one hiring all these pirates to go hunt for it.
He could be using Talon for resources too.
I would love to see Card be the one who gets it, man. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Oh God, that'd be too good. They won't do it because it'd be too good.
Yeah, and also like this is like my joke response. It would be Hondo that gets it at the end.
That would be funny though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like that's like my joke response because I could totally see that. Like if it was a Rebels episode, I could totally see it.
Oh yeah, if it was an animation, I'd be like okay, Hondo's coming away with that one.
Yeah, like Hondo's leaving with all the credits.
Yeah.
As Morgan isn't getting shit.
Oh my God. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some sort of power play though. Maybe it's going to be one of the pirate groups, and if it is one of the pirate groups, then that still has an impact on the greater galaxy in some way.
Honestly, I know that it hasn't been like brought up since the game came out, but I really want Zarek Besh to actually play a part in like this part of the story. Like the fact that the ISB had their own cartel that was bigger than the Hutt cartel. Like it, and it's a secret cartel. Like I feel like that should have some sort of like that still should have some sort of an effect post Empire being gone, with how big the cartel is.
Yeah, it's hard to say. You know, we haven't gotten really much information at all in the underworld post Empire, right? Or obviously post Return of the Jedi. We don't know hardly anything at all.
And Outlaws didn't really do a good job. I mean, they did a good job, but they didn't really do a good job of explaining more about Zarek Besh and like what the current state is.
Yeah. But even then, that's all before Return of the Jedi. So it's like things could have changed so much in the last 5-6 years. And I thought we were going to get those answers in Boba Fett. We did not.
No.
Not
at all. We both thought that.
Yeah. So now maybe, maybe with this whole Hutt situation in the Mando movie, maybe we are going to get some of those answers.
I'm hoping. I mean, I feel this would be the place to do it.
Yeah.
Throw all the big punches for this one.
So do you think Boba is going to be in this Mando movie or not?
A
straight up yes or no.
As Hugh Jackman said, oh fuck yeah. He's gotta be.
Okay. I'm getting worried that he's not going to be.
If he's not, there's something seriously wrong.
I agree, but like Tim is usually like pretty loose with this stuff, and if he's lying, he's doing a fantastic job.
Maybe he got in trouble for the one too many times that he's like,
dude, if he's lying, he's doing a phenomenal job. That's all I can say. He's doing a phenomenal job. He's like, they haven't called me. I heard they're doing a movie, blah, blah. You know, and he said that multiple times.
He's just sitting at the Polynesian spa waiting for that phone call. Like he's
dude. If he's not in it, I seriously it'll
upset me a little bit.
It'll diminish my enjoyment of the movie in some way. I know it will, no matter what. I need him in that movie, dude. I need more Boba.
He needs to be a crucial player if they're gonna make it to where he's taking over Tatooine.
Right. The Hutts would want it back all day.
Especially the Hutts. Like, Rod of the Hutt. Okay, it has to work because Rod of the Hutt is going to come for Boba.
Right, he's Jabba's son. Like, why would he not?
The other Hutts okayed it when they gave him the Rancor, but come on, they're coming back.
The cousins?
Yeah,
the cousins.
Like, look at like the Hutts aren't stupid. They know how much money Tatooine brings in. Like the credits, they're not going to give that to Boba Fett.
Well, Boba shut
maybe
down
Zero the Hutt, maybe, but like not. No, there's no way.
That's what I'm thinking, man. He's got to be in this movie. He's got to be in it.
If Rada isn't coming back to take his palace back, what is going on? I don't know. Like, I feel like that has to be a plot. Like, why would Rada just be okay with like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it?
Well, I think one of two things could be happening with Rada that have nothing to do with Boba Fett. Number one, I'm stealing it from you. You came up with this, or you told me about it. Number one, I think he wants revenge on Leia for killing Jabba. So
yeah, totally.
The New Republic gets wind that he's after Leia for some reason, and Mando he's one of the hired guns for the New Republic. He's asked to go shut that shit down, essentially.
Yeah.
Cool. That would make a great storyline for the movie. He starts the movie doing all these like Imperial warlord things, and then it's like we got a special mission for you. The fucking what is she? What is her title? She's like the defense leader or something like that.
Currently, or like
currently in canon, she's like the leader of the defense fleet or something like that, according to Ahsoka.
Leader of the naval. I thought it had to do with the Navy. Like.
They call it the defense fleet. They're no longer proactively a military. So it's like that's what she is in canon. It's defense fleet something rather.
Leader of the New Republic Defense Council.
Defense Council. Okay, so
overseeing the political aspect of the military.
Yeah, so that's how I could see the movie going this way. Mando's doing his little missions with the Empire, blah, blah, blah. He's knocking out warlords left and right. He's killing it. And they're like, we got a special assignment for you. This Hutt, is coming after Leia. And boom, dude, that's how we tie it into the big three. Number one, maybe Han shows up. It would be a crazy movie, but it's a movie. It's not a TV show. This is a movie we're getting. So it's going to be big.
I mean, Rada the Hutt's going to be there smoking a cigarette with like at-home tattoos on his arm. Like it's just like we're going to get the lip Gallagher. Like we got to bring the hair back quick. Like, I'm so excited to see what they're going to do with this. Because that's like,
to hear the voice.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is he gonna do? And is he gonna be speaking English or basic, or is it gonna be Huttese? Because then, especially, I want to see the behind the scenes of Jeremy Allen White doing it, because that's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah,
that's gonna be so fucking funny.
That is gonna be really fun. I'm excited to see that. But that's my option number one for how Boba Fett is not involved.
All right.
Number two is gonna be the Empire is hiring warlords from the underworld. Thrawn is essentially to do his dirty work for him, because there's not enough Imperial hands to do all the shit he needs to do. So Pelion shows up at Rada the Hutt's place, and he's like, look, we need you to do this, this, and this. Maybe it is, we need you to have control of Tatooine, because that's one of the New Republic planets currently. Maybe they need to start causing chaos on the New Republic planets. And I think they're going to ask the underworld to help them with that. That's option number two. And those are the two ways I think it happens. I don't think Boba really needs to be involved with either, unfortunately.
I love that, because I could totally see like the Shadow Collective getting sent out to go meet with like the Pikes, the like Crimson Dawn, Zarek Bash.
Yeah.
Like I could totally
Black
totally
Sun.
see it. Yeah. Black Sun. Do you think they're even still around?
No.
I was gonna say, I don't even think they're still around at this point. Do you?
I know. In Legends they weren't, so I don't think they are. But.
I was gonna say, it's like we haven't heard anything on Black Sun in a while.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and then like whoever took over Gorian Shard's group, obviously, I'm assuming.
Right, maybe the pirates come into play too.
Hondo.
So that's one way I could see the movie going to. Those are kind of the two options. I really like the idea of like a special mission assignment, and it needs to protect Leia or something. but I also like the underworld, like
Yeah.
Thrawn digging his his hands into the underworld, being like, we're gonna control this shit, like from the bottom up, essentially.
Dude, we gotta figure out a way to see this movie like together. But
yeah, you really should.
Like,
you really should.
I was thinking, I'm like, dude, I want to experience like seeing your reaction to this in case like one of your theories or my theories is right.
I know we really should. We should figure that out, man. I would love to watch it together. And then also, I don't even know if I want to watch trailers. I'm like that.
I definitely do, because like I'm gonna have to make videos on it because I'm gonna want to talk about it. Like if I see something, I'm gonna be like, oh, I don't like I'm gonna be like DiCaprio once upon a time in Hollywood. Like,
yeah, I just like, if I go blind though, then I'll be like, I mean, literally, I'll probably be like the whole time.
That's what I'm doing to myself with Prophecy right now. I watched the first episode and I was like, all right, dude, I'm done. I'm waiting till they're all out and I'm gonna binge it and just see.
That's a good idea. See
what's gonna happen.
It's good. It's cool.
I'm excited.
It's very Dune. That's all I can say.
It's very Dune.
It's very Dune. Yeah, it's cool, man.
Green Tea, welcome. How are you? Hi.
Yeah, we're a little late on some of these chats. Whoopsies.
Apologize.
Oh, that's a good point. The large gun that was shown to be the large gun that was shown has to be crucial at some later episode. Why show it now? Yeah, that's not like they shot it.
What it reminded me of was like the turrets on like the Death Star, but also the anti-air turrets on Tantus.
Yeah,
that's what they reminded me of. Like the ion cannons.
Here's an interesting question. Why is it on the top of a damn school?
That's also a good question. like what was their job at Akron? What was, because like their school, like I don't know, she seemed like she had no knowledge of what a school was. Which,
right.
Evidently so. It's obviously, it looks like it's been a while and she's young, but yeah. Interesting.
It is interesting, but I did notice that she opened it up. You know what I mean? She turned it up. She like used the key thing to turn it on, and Neil saw that. So Neil's gonna know how to access this thing. Imagine Neil sitting there shooting that.
Yeah, like Neil using the force. Like I can see Neil closing his eyes, and just using the force with it.
Oh my gosh! I want
with how many A New Hope callbacks. Yeah, with how many callbacks to like a New Hope have been in this, I could totally see like Neil closing his eyes and having like a use the force Luke moment.
Switch off your targeting computer.
Or just have the lady stop cranking it to turn it.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Tony says the reason why Neil is not shown in this picture is that Neil is the supervisor. It's Neil all along. He's I've been saying it. He's the new Darth Jar Jar. He's going to be the villain of the show.
Neil all along. No, if he's anything but a Jedi, I'd be sad actually, because like he's that good of a character.
Yeah. And Neil has to stay Neil. He can't
That's right.
Too far. This emperor is stone dead. He's no more. The John Cleese voice from a Dead Parrot sketch.
We all need Boba Fett. Christopher Walken needs cowbell. I feel
like if Walken was in Star Wars, he would die within the first 2 minutes. Like somebody would kill him immediately.
Yeah, he was great in Dune, man. It was still, I'll be honest, he was like the one character who like kind of took me out of it a little bit, but he was good. Towards the end, I bought it. I was in.
I'm just glad I didn't hear it. When if I would have heard that and do it, I would have been like, all right, I'm out of it. That's all I would have needed to hear to take me out of it. But yeah, he's the only one for me. I was just like, it's definitely still Christopher Walken. Like I can't see anything different. Like I'll never not see him.
Right. He's too him. It's
and he'll never change.
That being said, I got a fever, and the only cure is more Boba Fett.
Good.
People were hyped that Bane from the Mando series are going to be a major character in the show. He's been delegated to a minor role. I think he had like 2 lines. Yeah, he's hardly been in this at all. Were people hyped that he was going to be a major character? Like, I really don't remember that.
I think they were more excited about how that it was going to tie in because he's from Mando.
Sure.
That's kind of like where I thought like the vein hype. I didn't really think there was much, but just more like he's the connecting tissue. At least to me, like I see him as the bridge between
sure,
between the stories.
he does help us place it in the timeline. Like we know
Yeah.
this is after Gorian Shard's pirates fall.
Yeah, because obviously Gorian isn't there, and
Right.
I believe they even said that too.
They say he like was running with Gorian Shard at some point or something like that. Yeah.
I would say no. Just if you're gonna bring him back, just kill him off again. Don't do it.
Yeah, I hope he's just dead, honestly. I mean, it's not like I don't want to see more Cad Bane in general, but like if I do see more Cad Bane, it's because I want to see like a flashback or something. I don't want to see it. I don't want them to keep resurrecting characters. I'm over it.
I don't want them to keep resurrecting characters just to kill him off again either.
Unless it's Neil. They could kill him about 10 times and bring him back and I'd be fine with it.
I would say the same for Brutus.
Brutus is cool, man.
Yeah.
Brutus is a really cool character. Really cool design too. I love those like practical costumes. So cool.
I have to agree on that one. Leia is something between the Secretary of the Navy and Attorney General, essentially.
Basically, yeah. Basically, she's got power. We know that.
I was about to say she's got some power. Just
well, she essentially like told Ahsoka and Hera like, yeah, go do this thing like out.
I mean, she pretty much told Xiono to go f off. So I mean,
right? Yeah, Senator Xiono sucks. He is our Borskvalia for sure.
Walken was almost cast as Han Solo. Look it up. I mean, Kurt Russell was too.
Can you imagine?
No,
Han Solo.
True, Mark. I couldn't even see him saying like Chewie. Okay, try imagining him given like the Kessel Run full like monologue. Just try and like imagine hearing him saying that. It doesn't work.
Yeah, no, I can't. And honestly, I'm like, I want to go to like the alternate universe where that happened because that would be a sight to see, man. That would be so funny.
I feel like it'd be like watching an episode of like Futurama. It would be so like out there.
Oh my dude. I actually believe that if he was this cannot be that true. How close was he? Like how close was he?
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like I feel
did he have
an
audition? Sure. But like
so did Kurt Russell.
Right. Was he almost cast? Like, nah. That movie, I'm sorry, but Star Wars would have flopped if he
Yeah, if anyone else was in there that isn't in it now, it would have flopped.
I agree. I think they maybe could have got it. I mean, and I don't want to say that for sure because there maybe could have been a good Luke out there, like, but Harrison Ford, man, I don't know why, but like he is Han Solo. Like the fact the Solo movie flopped without him, it just goes to show you because that's like a well-written movie. It's like
it's a good movie, but it doesn't work because it's not Harrison.
Right. And like some people can never get past that. And I don't blame them because Harrison is
Indiana Jones. Like
yeah, right.
Like I mean, I didn't mind Shia LaBeouf, but he can't replace Harrison as Indy.
Oh, no way. I mean, he would have never been. I love Shia LaBeouf, and it just wouldn't have worked if you ask me. So
resurrect Dirge and we'll be in business. You know what? That would be the one. If this is where like Dirge is like, yes, put him on this planet and we'll be chilling. Like put him on one of these planets and we'll be good. That would be so cool. Give like this is where like the Gendai are.
Wait, is Dirge they made him canon again, right?
I'm assuming so because of Survivor.
Oh yeah. Okay, I thought he was also made canon in one of the comics or something like that. So
he might have. I was just thinking with the Gendai being in Survivor anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
At least his species anyway is canon.
Yes, his species is 100% canon. But I thought they had brought him back in one of the comics.
Dirge first appeared in the current Star Wars canon in the 10th issue of the 2020 comic Star Wars Darth Vader Dr. Aphra is where he came back in.
He's canon. It's canon. Book it.
I'm surprised that that's where they brought him back in though. Is a Dr. Aphra comic. I mean, okay, it makes sense too. Okay, do you think that's a character we'll ever see, Dr. Aphra?
Well, as we said on our stream, our original stream or whatever, the big one we did with everyone before Skeleton Crew, I thought that who was like for sure who was going to be a cameo in this show.
If anything, I would have thought in Bad Batch with all the cloning shit. I figured she would have been to me like she would have been what the older Omega. I can't remember. I don't know why I'm blanking on her name right now, but the older Omega. Like that's who she would have been.
Yeah, I mean, you thought she was a clone, like straight up. You thought
no, I'm just saying, like to me, she would have had that role on Tantus. She would have had a role like that on Tantus.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Like the reason I thought this show specifically is because she is like an archaeologist essentially, and they're going to need some sort of like, I knew they were going to need some sort of historical information to find home, which they've needed. They went to an owl instead of Afra, but they could have gone to Afra. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I thought we were going to see her. I will say at this point, though, I'm kind of like, I don't think she's going to show up in the show now. I think it's too late. I feel like 3 would have been the time.
So I'm saying, I feel like she would have been either captured by the New Republic by this time. Like if she's out and about, she's on the run. She's not just like on a planet helping people out. Right. At least to me anyway, I feel like she's too much of a rebel, so to speak, for her to just be okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's right. I mean, she's alive, right? Like according to canon, comics, she's alive. So. I just don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things where I kind of like, they brought in Chrysanthemum, and I think that worked. Maybe Afra, honestly, is better as a comic character.
Yeah, because it's okay. So she died 3 ABY, but then she was revived.
What the again? The reviving more people. This is the problem.
Yeah, because it says born 24 BBY, died 3 ABY on Barleth, and then it says revived under that. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm whatever.
Dude, come on.
I don't know. Next,
I can't with the. We just got done talking about this. Stop reviving characters, Star Wars. Like, let people die. It's fine. It's cool. Like, it makes the story have meaning at the end of the day, right? Like, there's no. If I'm just worried, or if I'm never worried that any character is going to die and that they're all just going to be revived, then it takes away all of the emotional weight from the story. It takes away all the stakes out of anything they do. I never think anyone's in danger then in that case. It's horrible.
And also, too, with that, I would say also don't bring in big name characters just to kill them off in the same project. Don't bring in a big character and just kill them off in the same project.
I can agree with too.
Like, for example, if they brought Thrawn back in Ahsoka and killed him off in Episode 8, I would have been pissed. I mean, everybody would have been pissed, but like,
dude, that would have been the end for me.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, you can't bring Kang in Ant-Man 3 and have him get defeated by Ant-Man, and then he's supposed to be this big multiversal villain. Like, that doesn't work.
Right.
So, like,
it didn't work.
You can't MODOK, it cannot. I don't know. Yeah.
You're resurrected. You're resurrected. You're resurrected. I am over that, man. I don't like it at all. I will say this.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Dr. Aphra series would work. I think she would work great because she's a comic character, though, in animation.
I also think she'd work great too because it would also be more like a Vader show too with her.
Sure, yeah, that would be the best. I mean, I would rather see her in that kind of timeline than in the post Return of the Jedi timeline. Yeah. Spooky Jawa, in The Last Jedi, they should have never introduced Admiral Holdo. I think that's her name, pink-haired lady. That is her name.
Yeah,
purple hair.
Over.
And I agree completely because, like, but also at the same time, I don't even think she was like a big character. They just introduced someone new, and they're just like, yeah, she's dead now. And it's like, okay,
they wanted her to be a big character with the sacrifice, and it didn't turn out that way.
No one cared about her.
They wanted her to be Leia.
Like, but no one cared about her at the end of the day because she was just like telling Poe, like, you can't know anything.
Yeah, no, she was being a Karen. Let's be honest, she was being a Karen.
Horrible, man. She's my least favorite character, and I like Laura Dern a lot.
I love Laura Dern.
I want to say that. I think she's great in everything. what the hell was Admiral Holdo? I don't. It should have been Admiral Akbar with the sacrifice.
It should have been Akbar, or it should have honestly. I mean, if Akbar was gone, I mean, I could even say like if he was in control of the fleet. Or
Akbar's in like Rise of Skywalker or something.
Yeah, because like that's what I'm saying. Like that would have worked too, and they could have his son be in Rise instead.
Yeah. Whatever.
Whatever.
I've always covered with my opinions about hold.
That's the problem. She was so insignificant until she killed him through the hyperspace. Yeah, they wanted her to have this big like send off, but they didn't have anything building up to that.
Yeah,
it felt so out of character for her to just randomly want to like sacrifice. Like that was just, it didn't make sense. But it was a cool effect. It was a cool effect. That's about it.
It looked cool, I guess. It
doesn't make sense lore wise, but it's cool.
I'll be honest. I hate talking about that movie. Like it actually, no, I'm like, and I know we talk about it all the time. It seems, but it just actually makes my blood boil. I hate that movie with a passion.
I get like my wife, not like I don't get mad at her for it. Like her and I have talked about it before. And I just like, I get irritated because I'm like, why the fuck? Like why? What made them think that this or that was a good idea? Like, someone got to like change your batteries in your head. Like what's going on? You got a screw loose?
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. And I hear people be like, "Oh, the Acolyte is like the most offensive thing they've ever done." Like, not even close. No, in my opinion. I don't like Acolyte. I don't think it's that good. I think it's mostly poor writing, but it does not come anywhere near as offensive as Last Jedi for me.
I would say, even if want to do one further, like I would say, editing John Boyega out of the fucking poster is more offensive than the Acolyte.
Right?
Like doing the shit that they did at Kelly Marie Tran is more offensive than the Acolyte. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah,
they did some really
Disney's
fucked up
done
shit.
Their own, like, yeah, they have done some crazy.
I mean,
stuff, man.
They shouldn't. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I hear you, man. I'm with you.
I wish they would restore the holiday special and put it on Disney Plus.
I wish they would too. At least we got the animated section, the Boba Fett section, which is actually like the best part. But it's cool.
It's definitely like, I wonder what it would have been like if we got that version of Boba Fett, like in general. Like if we had like, because Boba Fett talked way more.
So, yeah, it's funny because I think the Boba Fett in the animated special is more like the Boba Fett we have post Return of the Jedi.
Like,
so it's what
the like his trajectory was going for in the show, like in the special.
And then like, and then we see like Empire, and he's like this cold-blooded killer. So it's like, okay.
If you introduce a character to us with saying no disintegrations this time, he better be a stone cold killer.
That's right. The Acolyte was bad, but at least it didn't ruin a character fans love. Luke got totally wasted. Amen, Spooky Jawa. I honestly, that's all I can say. I mean, that's why I'm like, Acolyte is definitely better than Last Jedi at the end of the day. Am I gonna run home and watch?
I was gonna say, like, I was thinking, like, I don't know if I'd rewatch it over it, because it would be quicker to get through the Last Jedi. Like, I'm thinking, like, time efficiency wise, it would be quicker for me to get through the Last Jedi.
You got about 3.5 hours versus about 2 hours, so you're gonna have a whole hour and a half extra for Acolyte.
That's what I'm saying.
Ooh,
and if I skip through like the previews and I skip through the credits, that might be like an hour 45, hour 50. Like, if I'm lucky,
honestly
skip over the Canto Bite scenes. I don't need them.
I don't want to watch either. I don't want them anywhere near me.
That's fair. In other news, the Youngling Slayer.
Which is that a NeoPixel?
Yeah, Annie V3 or Annie 3. Sorry.
Is that from Theory Sabers?
Yeah, it's 7/8. I just wanted to show on here the back of it. This is what the Origin Saber is going to be like.
Right. Plug that sucker in. I got my own saber here from InSabers. Check that sucker out.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. I think you have the same one, right?
Let's say we got the matching. Let's get it.
Did you have the lights on the side like that? I was like, damn, these things light up.
Yeah, but it's off right now. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think the battery's out of it.
This thing is so sick. I'm a big fan. I also have the screen accurate top on it.
Yeah.
Got a review going up
Be
on my
careful.
channel, guys, of this.
Mine will not come off. It is stuck on here. I cannot
Really?
get it off. I tried for 2 months to get it off. I had to send them. I sent them the money back for it because I felt bad because I couldn't make the review on it because I couldn't get the blade in.
Wow, that's crazy. I haven't had any issues, but
yeah, be very careful with screwing it on and off. It gets stuck.
Okay, good to know.
But if you look at the back of the Funkos here, I don't know if you can see it, like the fire illuminating.
Yeah.
But like, this saber is beautiful. It's so heavy too.
It's one of the best saber, like the Anakin design in general it's one of the most like functional designs.
And that's why I'm really excited to see this Origin saber because I have the Galaxy's Edge version, and this is thickness alone is like I didn't realize how thick this one was until I had the Skinny Flex.
Yeah, like the Skinny Flex is basically like based off the real graphic size. Yeah.
So like it's insane the difference. So I don't even know what the Origins look like in comparison, but definitely gonna be having a new video coming out. I'm not going back to saber reviews, but the Origin saber needs to be shown.
Can't wait to see that Origin saber, man.
I'm excited to see your video.
So sick. Yeah, that's coming out tonight, actually. So yeah, I love this saber, dude. It's like my favorite saber of all time. So I'm so glad to finally have one. It's so cool.
You don't know how many times I put on like the throne room scene and then just sat there for when Luke turns off a saber, just sitting here like hitting it and then throwing it on my bed. You don't know how many times I've just been like and then like tossing it. Like
yeah, it's so sick.
I never thought as a grown man I would get so emotional over this. Like
I know it's dude, if I had one of these as a kid, I would have broken it. Number one.
I told my wife immediately. I'm like, I don't think you realize like how what this means to have in person, like what it truly means to like see this and it be like real and not be not feel fake. It's
like as close you're gonna get to the real thing. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's just like it's the Step Brothers thing. Like, imagine if we had these when we were 8. Even better, we got them when we're 40. It's just like that's how it feels. It's like it's so much like the Boba Fett's already went off. But like the fact that this is even possible is insane. I wouldn't even been able to fathom it as a kid.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what it would have been like growing up with it when you did, because like when I grew up with it, like we already had the lightsabers that you throw, like that you flick out and they
I had the flick out ones, but I didn't have, because I got those for the Power of the Force ones in like 97 or something. When the special editions came out, that's what I got, the flick out ones. But
yeah,
man, they never had like even like those Black Series ones on the wall back here, like the LED ones. I didn't even have those.
I didn't either.
Like, oh, man, those are awesome too. I mean, they would have been for kids.
I had the huge clone trooper helmet. I had like
it wasn't that big Hasbro.
Yeah, it wasn't Rex's one, but I had that one. I had 2 of them. Me and my brother had one. But then like I had Qui-Gon saber with a purple blade in it that would flick out. They had like the little clip on your like belt loop.
Oh yeah,
like on the side that you so I had so many of those. We got them at like Goodwill all the time.
Yeah, those things, they pop out, they like spring out or whatever.
You have to like hit it on the ground a bunch because sometimes you get stuck.
Yeah, in my day, they didn't go down all the way into the hilt, so you'd have like part of it sticking out of the hilt.
I've seen there's this one guy, I think it's called An Elegant Weapon, his channel, but he has some of those ones that it's like half of it's still sticking out.
Yeah, that's how they were in my day, man. And it was like you just had to use your imagination because it was bad.
It really did.
Yeah, it was bad. Oh, I'm never gonna go back watch TLJ and TROS. Those 2 movies totally brought the franchise downhill. I mean, we've talked about this a lot because, like, where does it go from here? That's the issue. They've set themselves up for failure. And
instead of trying to get away from it, they've just tried to reconcile it, which is not working.
It ain't working. It ain't working.
That's the one out of the trilogy where it's like this one felt the most like they at least had a plan with where they wanted this one. Like they had a vision for this one, and that was it.
It did its job, dude. At the end of the day, like, I know it's A New Hope reskinned, but it introduced us new characters. It brought in the old heroes, and it got us hyped for what was to come.
And then, yeah, I was like, then like I said, it went downhill.
Yeah. I liked Force Awakens, and I still like. I'm totally cool with it. It just now I'm sour on it because of Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. So it's like it sucks. It sucks that happened. Not
it sucks though what it led to. I recently just I got recommended the teaser trailer for it randomly just a couple days ago, maybe it was a week ago.
Oh, I rewatched it. The 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, I rewatched it and I was just like, I genuinely like got excited to watch that movie, and then I was like, wait, I know what fucking comes after this. I'm not like, never mind.
Yeah.
Like I got excited for a second. I was just like, this feels great, and no.
Yeah, it did, man. John Williams doing the score again, and yeah, it was good.
I will say Michael Giacchino's son has been killing it.
Oh, a Skeleton Crew? Yeah. I do. I like the score like a lot. That episode 3 score was one of the best. Music was awesome in that one. But
I don't know if it's a nostalgia thing, but when I heard like the Force theme for Jod and I heard like his take on it, for some like I didn't cry or anything, but I got like a little emotional. Like I could feel like I could feel the sniffles coming. And I don't know what it was, but just hearing that and actively seeing like a Jedi use the Force and pull something towards, I don't know why, it felt like we haven't seen that in so long, even though we just saw it throughout the summer.
Yeah, it felt
solid. So lost.
Yeah, it was solid. I liked it a lot.
I enjoyed watching your Acolyte watch parties. Caden looked like a North Korean party official being forced to sit through one of Kim Jong-un's speeches. No comment.
No
comment.
Gosh.
I appreciate you being there, though, Clark. No comment. If it felt like someone was behind me standing there, yeah. That's the thing. Gosh. Like, even if I don't like a show, if it has to do with Star Wars or Marvel, I want to keep up to date on like what it's currently happening. So I'm gonna force myself to watch it. Like,
yeah, it's kind of how I am too. At least with Star Wars, like I'm gonna watch it. I sat through all of Acolyte, and I probably could have checked out by the 3rd or 4th episode for sure.
After the 3rd episode, I was ready to check out, but the 4th episode with Kamir floating down, that was like, oh, okay, I know I want to see where this goes. Like, I was out of it until it happened, and I was just like, all right, the last 5 minutes were amazing, but whatever the first 20 minutes were, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but that episode overall, we may have had introduced us to the Sith Lords here or whatever, but like, my God, that episode was bad. They're just hiking through the woods the whole time, and she's like, no, I'm joining the Jedi. And then she's like, no, I'm not joining the Jedi. It's like
Kamir's hitting on her, but also threatening her at the same time, too.
Like, it was so bizarre, man. Yeah, I did not enjoy that at all. To be honest with you. So, yeah.
I will say, like, even though like it definitely made sense, but now looking back on it, it's fucking funny that he mocked her with like doing like his like later voice. I don't know, like it felt such like a little kid thing to do, but it also felt like I don't know, like it felt like it fit. But thinking back on it, I'm just kind of just like, why was that in there? Why was that needed?
Your guess is as good as mine, because dude, why was anything in that show? One of my favorite parts is when like they switch places or whatever, and what's his soul or whatever his name is doesn't know, and it's like, he would freaking know. I'm sorry, dude, like he's supposed to be a Jedi master and he doesn't know.
Mine's perfectly cutting the hair with the saber, like perfectly. You can't even smell the burnt hair, dog. Like, come on.
What about when that little like rodent guy like sabotaged the ship for no reason? What was that about?
Because Basil knew it was her. He knew it was the wrong one.
So he sabotaged the entire ship? Like,
I think he was just trying to stop her from getting to wherever that she needed to go with Soul. But at the same time, they could have,
because of that. Like,
I mean, what? At the same time, they could have also given a little bit more, explained it a little bit more.
I don't know about that one. I'm like, what?
I will say,
Oh
seeing
my
Cortosis
gosh.
though was so fucking. Seeing that getting used
Yeah,
was
it was
so cool.
cool. It was cool.
I'm gonna say it, and once we buy our house, you're gonna see it. I will have a stranger helmet in my display of helmets. I have it pre-ordered
Really?
because I really want to have one. I love how that helmet looks. I love Kamir's outfit in general. I just love the like
It's cool. I mean,
his Sith robes. Like it just looks sick to me.
yeah, like he was a cool looking villain. I liked his saber that split apart in two.
Yeah.
That's cool, but I'm just like overall though, I'm just kind of like
The only redeeming quality for me.
I just don't care. But if I don't care, fine. If you like it, cool. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spend any money on Acolyte merch. I'm not really gonna support that show specifically. Um, I want Disney to make things that I want to see, and that's the stuff I'll continue to support, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like when they drop the Heir to the Empire vintage collection, right? Boom, I'm pre-ordering day one. When they get the Last Command set, it's back there. Boom, pre-order right away. I want that.
My wife and I went to brunch with a friend on Monday, and we were talking about like how like they need to release like start doing more of that stuff for Legends. Like they're just starting now with the Funkos, but start diving into that more. Start releasing more of that.
A lot of people were excited about that drop, and not only that, but they did a Shadows of the Empire drop the same day for Black Series.
Didn't?
Yeah, it was a Black Series, not vintage collection. So it was Luke in the Red Guard, the Imperial Guard, and Boushh Leia. But Boushh Leia we've had many times because of Return of the Jedi. But it is a Shadows of the Empire collection, and they did a Zizor and everything like that too. So they are starting to support it a little bit more. It seems Legend stuff, which is good.
I see it now.
What we want. So
that's cool. Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. That's all right. I didn't even know that was releasing the same day. Like all I was focused on was getting that pre-order for.
I know. I'm the same way, right? I'm like, I want the Heir to the Empire set so bad. I almost got two because I want one open and I want one carded.
I debated being like, hey, are you gonna order two? Like, do I need to like put my like set the quantity of the two? Because like I don't want to take them out of the box. My wife was like, if you're gonna get them, at least like she said with the Origin Saber, she's like, at least have fun with it. If you're spending the money on it, at least have fun with it. But at the same time, I don't want to take them out of the. I want those cards to be attached to the they're not coming out.
Mine are gonna stay carded for sure. I might, if I can get it, maybe it'll go on sale or something, because sometimes that'll happen. If it does, I'll pick up a second set, 100%, and get one that I can open.
Like, so. I don't collect figures. It's just something I won't do because like once I start one thing, I won't stop. This is a prime example. So are these. This is a prime example.
Right.
I don't even have room for helmets, and I have 3 of them right now. So like, these will be the only ones I purchase ever. Besides, like if they do like the rest of the trilogy, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean I'm the same kind of way. I mean, I figures I've gotten a little bit more into, but I have a figure for each helmet, right? So if I have a helmet, I have a figure, except for Rex. I still need to get that one, but it's extremely hard to get and expensive. And I buy anything Legends that they do for the comics I support. So if they do like Shadows of the Empire, I have some of those. Those are back there on the back wall. And then I have the Heir to the Empire Luke, the Dark Force Rising Mara, and the Last Command 4-piece set. Which is that Last Command set. I wish I had 2. That's cool. I don't. It wasn't cheap, but I wish I had 2, and I don't. So that's that. So I'll keep that one in the box, I guess.
I was like, there's so much things where I'm like, I don't even know if I want to take it out of the box because this is just so cool to look at.
It is. It's tough with like Star Wars stuff too, because it's like some stuff is better in the box. I have the vintage collection Ghost coming this like week or something like that.
Was it the one that was like for $15?
The Ghost? No, the vintage collection one. It's like massive.
Like the huge one?
Yeah, it was the HasLab.
Isn't that where we found out that it's not where we found that? Oh no, that was the Lego. Never mind. I say that Jason was.
No, that was a Lego. Yeah, the HasLab was the big crowdfunding thing that Hasbro did. So you have to like reserve it to get it. the TVC Ghost. It is.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. This, 500.
It's massive.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I got that. It's coming like this week. I ordered it last summer, so it's like,
Please tell me you're gonna do an unboxing with that.
I'm considering. I don't know. I'm part of me wants to keep it in the box. So I don't know.
That's fair.
It's hard to do, man, to open some of this stuff. So it's ginormous. It is. It's
if I got
huge.
If I got like a UCS Star Destroyer, I think I would have to display it and like build it. Like I would have to like.
Oh, if I got the Lego, I would. And I have some Legos. I have the UCS R2D2. I got these helmets. I build those. I'm not gonna.
I have the Rex helmet one, but like.
Yeah, that one's cool.
With something that big, I don't know if I said, I don't know if I want to take out the box, but with how big it is, I feel like I would want to with how much room it would take up. But I'm also very limited on room, so
I get that. I wouldn't buy Lego if I'm not going to build it though. Like, what's the point of having a box of just pieces? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Lego's also so expensive.
Like the last command set, like I can open it up and look at it. You know what I mean? Like it's got a window, like I can see it.
That's that like I don't know like a best way to store comics, but I want I have a bunch of comics, for example, but I want to be able to like go up to a wall and just see the cover and pull it off the shelf like at a comic book shop.
Yeah, you need like those record holders, you know what I mean? Like something like that. You can set it against the wall. That'd be cool. That's a good idea actually. I have a few Legends comics, obviously. Legends only pretty much.
I want to get, because like majority of my comics that I've read have been online, or when I was younger, it was at the public library.
Sure.
So like I just want to get so many of them on like in paper and like display them.
That'd be cool. Yeah, comics are hard to display, right? It's like a hard medium to display.
And like I want to read them, but some of these are I mean I don't know if they're graded, but they're in this protective stuff that this guy was selling. I don't want to touch them.
Right.
And they're from Fan Expo, so I feel like I can't touch them. Like they're a special thing.
If they're in really good condition, I probably wouldn't. Like my Legends comics are old. I bought them used, and then I just, I want to be able to open them and flip through them and stuff. So I do. I would love to have graded copies though, like you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like a perfect copy.
I would say like this Daredevil one. I don't know if I'm ever gonna open. Same thing with this Dark Empire one. I don't know if I'm ever gonna like open these, because like these look like they haven't even been touched.
Yeah,
90% of these look like that. So like I don't even want to touch them. Like I don't even want to break the seal on the back of these.
Yeah, can't say I blame you. So pretty cool.
Legos are so expensive; they'll be worth more than crypto in a few years. Honestly, it'd be cheaper to invest in Lego stock than it'll be.
Have you seen how much some of these Lego sets go for in the boxes? Like, there's a Imperial shuttle from like 2004 or something like that, right? If you have one in the box, it's like $3,000. It's insane.
I was gonna say, like I've seen that stuff. I was gonna say, I go in the Target and I see the Lego prices for a small Mando set, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is insane. I see why Legos were hand-me-downs when I was younger.
Right.
Like, I understand now why we can't have brand new Legos. they're very expensive.
They are so expensive. It's crazy.
With the old Clone Wars sets, I always struggled to open the box because I could either keep it in or build it.
The Clone Wars sets go for big money, man, if you had them in the box. But
it was crazy. The second when I was younger, like the second I got one, ripped immediately. I tore those things apart. Like, should I display it or build it? I cannot give you financial advice. I apologize. I can't.
If you build it, they will come. In my opinion.
I'll say I'm not going to be responsible for anybody's unfortunate decisions that they make.
Yeah, all right. Me neither.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one. All right.
I got to get out of here, guys. It's great talking with y'all, though. But yeah, I got to...
Duty calls.
I got to bounce, man. Yeah, I got a puppy out here, so it's like...
Congrats on that again.
Yeah, thanks. It's like this big right now. It's going to be 100 pounds at some point. But yeah, we got another burner. super exciting. I would bring it on stream, but it's downstairs, and that's a whole thing.
That already sounds like our puppy. He's about to be a year old, but
yeah,
with the cold, he will not go to the bathroom outside. Like he's been such like bitch about it. Like with the snow, he's like, I'm not doing it at all. And it's been like going up and down stairs has been it's been interesting. I'll say that.
Yeah, our puppy. Obviously, we have like wood floors downstairs and carpet upstairs. So like with the carpet, might think it's the grass. I don't know. It's like a whole thing. So I'm like, let's just keep it down here for now. So because accidents happen when they're that young, and or they just whatever, they get scared of something. It's like doesn't really even matter. Like one thing can trigger them. It's crazy.
Ours just pees. Like I swear, ours just pees to pee at times. Like he just like he'll
go.
Like you walk up to him and they go like pet him and he'll be like wagging his tail and then he'll like it could be a happy piddle, but randomly like he'll just look at you and start peeing too at times. And it's just like, dude, you were just outside 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Honestly, that sounds about right. So
dogs are gonna be dogs.
They are, man. They are.
How are your cats adjusting to?
I only have one cat, and my cat actually. So, my cat is living with grandma right now because of the puppy. So,
I was kind of wondering. I'm like, how is Joe's cat gonna deal with another one?
My cat hates my other dogs. My cat was a little freaked out. My cat is now at my grandma's, just chilling there for a little bit, just like it's like a temporary leave, until until things,
vacation.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
have a good one, Jama. Tony, it was nice having you back. Welcome to coming back.
Yeah, Tony, really great seeing you and chatting with you. Love your comments. And Spooky Jawa, I don't think I'd seen you here before, but that was fun. You're really great discussion. I like that we see eye to eye on Last Jedi sucks. All right, I'm out of here, guys. See ya. Clark, good to see you too.
May the force be with you all. We'll see you maybe next week after. Who knows?
Yeah, next week.
Next week. All right, next week.
We got to get it before like the Christmas week or something.
Yeah.
Maybe Sunday or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that works with me.
Clark, I got you, man. I showed Caden something today.
It was beautiful. Unfortunately, I'm definitely one of the few that won't have any lines in this one. But you guys, I'm excited.
But you're gonna have a whole scene.
Oh, I am. I didn't know that.
Okay,
this is news
I'm
to
working
me.
on a Thrawn scene where he kind of interrogates, obviously Talon. So that's the other thing I'm kind of working on. I want to put together a little spec trailer, which I showed you, but we'll have a scene. I want to do scenes too. I got Joris and Luke, and I got
I thought you were messing with me when you said that. I thought that was just like a thought that you had. I didn't know you were doing it. I thought that was just like a thought you had. That's why I was just like
a lot of photoshopping going on over here to set up the scenes, and then we're putting them in the generator and getting them going, man. So yeah,
I'm waiting to just see that one shot that we discussed. I'm waiting.
Yes.
That's the one I'm most excited for.
All right, right on. Love it. Star Wars Gazer. Sorry, man, I'm out of here, but good to see you, dude.
Just want to get off, man.
Yeah, really good to talk to you. We want to have you on again soon, man, for sure.
Alrighty.
Well, all right. I gotta go, man.
Catch you guys next one. May the force be with you all.
See you guys.
See ya.
See ya.